Today on Suncoast View, Sarasota's Hollywood 20 becomes a renovated Hollywood 11. But what about the rest of the street of empty storefronts? We'll discuss with our development trends expert.
Interest rates are up and the markets are down, and we all want answers about what it means for our money. Today, we ask the tough questions to a Suncoast financial expert.
And a centuries-old story still tugs on our heartstrings on stage. Manatee Players is here to preview the classic Little Women. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show, welcome to the week, and welcome to Candace McKellia and Rick Kirby. Both great to have you with us.
Thank you.
And we're glad Joey made it back to start a new week because he did something that I thought was a little un-Joey-like this weekend.
Yes.
Camping?
Camping, but, you know, I put my spin on it. And
hey, not really.
the trend of glamping. Glamour camping.
See, we weren't worried about you getting swallowed by a river in a tent.
No. It was more like changing the channel and, you know, making sure the DVD player in the motor home
Okay, that's
worked.
not camping.
Our friends Bart and Joe have this beautiful, I mean, this
Holy
is like
cow.
a city on wheels.
That's like a boy band bus.
And it was a boy band. Funny you mention it.
We were a boy band. I'm sure I sang a little bit over the weekend. We had a great time, and how could you not? So we were up a little bit north, up near like a Dade City area. There's a campground up there. We had a ball. We really did, and they had Golden Girls on DVD. We were, you know, we had movies, we had air conditioning, we had a shower in there that was like could rival anything I've ever stayed in.
I'll admit that RVs fascinate me because this time of year you see them all over I-75, and I think, would I like that?
I
like,
know, I think about it all the time.
It seems like it would be amazing to just drive away and see the whole country and have everything you need with
Yes,
you.
right.
I'm tempted.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
And when I was a kid, I think we had a camper for a hot minute, and it like the living room and all the facilities in it were like frozen out of the 1960s, you know.
And everything makes a bed.
Yes, absolutely.
Where are you sitting?
Hurry up with dinner because we need that. We
It's
need
a lot
that.
of together time. That would be my concern. That's a very confined space
You
to
can't get
spend
away.
months and months together if you're doing that.
You got to
So-
go with good friends, and that's what we did. We
I
had a
think
ball.
so.
Yes.
Well, good. I'm glad you're back. We're off to a great start this week, and what better way to start the week with some good food and fun in the kitchen? We welcome General Manager Steven from Brick Smoked Meats. What are we making today?
Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about some offerings that we have for Easter and Passover, and then we're going to make a super simple, healthy kale apple salad that's become an incredibly popular side at our restaurant, and we're also going to show you guys some new spring cocktails that we're doing.
Wow.
And the spring cocktails have very spring colors to them as well. That is a very green drink.
It is a very good drink, and a green drink, and that's what we're trying to get across there. Spring, things are blooming. Want you to be a part of that.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Always creative at Brick Smoked Meats and a great cocktail menu as well. So we look forward to seeing what's new there.
I do have to say that I took a lot of calls and emails last week when we celebrated National Puppy Day, and we talked about all of the dogs in our lives, and Stephanie brought up the fact that Wrigley, the guide dog that she raised last year, is actually back home. A lot of our viewers didn't realize what was happening with Wrigley, so I was hoping we could...
Candace as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that, and I appreciate everybody that has asked. So, as many of you know, we did raise Wrigley through Southeastern Guide Dogs. There's Big Brother Griffin, and you can see Wrigley there splashing in the pool with them. So Wrigley is back home as our forever dog now, and the reason is he was medically released from Southeastern Guide Dogs. He has something called tricuspid valve dysplasia. That is a congenital heart disorder, and this broke our heart, to be very, very honest, not because we were afraid that anything bad was going to happen to him, but that we had such high hopes for him to go on and be something for Southeastern Guide Dogs. But we've learned a lot, and this valve disorder is very common in male Labrador retrievers. And I know many of you have labs. It doesn't present any symptoms, usually until you get to the point where you have a murmur or something like that. Because Southeastern Guide Dogs does so much screening, Wrigley was actually a breeder evaluate, so they go back through his genetics to make sure they're top-notch before they were to breed him, and they found it. So huge kudos to them for how carefully they breed their dogs. Because of Wrigley having this, now none of his litter will be bred because they don't want any problems to ever spread within their breeding pool. And then we were offered the chance to bring Wrigley home, which sounds like a no-brainer, but my son wanted to puppy raise the next time around. So by bringing Wrigley under our home, now we have two big dogs. And if I'm going to keep my husband, we are probably not raising a puppy right now, but stay tuned. I may wear him down over the years.
Wrigley could be expected to, he won't present any big issues to a normal dog's
Correct.
life.
He has a a very mild case. We are hoping and praying that that means, you know, he'll live a very happy lab life. But we are well aware he does have a congenital heart disorder. They told us, move on, act normal, let the dog do what the dog wants to do. And I'll tell you, he's a little more mellow than many labs were normally. We all noticed that raising him. I have no idea if that has anything to do with the heart or that's just his disposition. He gets into plenty of trouble at my house, let me assure you. But you know, now we're just raising a fun lab. But it was a very interesting process to learn about the dogs and also the breeding and what you can find out. And you know, he'll get a 2-year checkup and we'll get an update. So.
We got to come home to you, though. That's nice.
It is very fun. It is very fun. Now, my daughter is going to college and leaving him with me, so, you know, then there's that. But, you know, he's a great dog. He's been a blessing to our family, and, you know,
that's great.
always a new adventure, right?
Yes.
You never know what to expect in life.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. That is very, very true.
life, that's
But
for
thank you very much for asking. It is time for our first hot topic, and Sarasota's Hollywood 20 has been redone and upgraded to Hollywood 11. But is it enough to revive that troubled block of Main Street? So the theater reduced 20 screens to 11 as part of a $3 million renovation. It also includes new luxury leather reclining seats. And by the way, prices have not gone up yet. So developers are working on a food court in the building across the driveway from the theaters. But there's still a number of vacant offices and stores, including large spots like the former World of Beer and Wing House restaurants. What does this block need?
Oh, it's so weird. You know, they say that certain areas and certain buildings are kind of cursed for retail and restaurant. And that one building where I'm dating myself here, but I don't know if you remember where it used to be Gastronomia.
Gastronomia-esque.
Yes.
But it's a gorgeous building.
It is. It's gorgeous, but it just, no business can ever succeed there. And even on the other side where Hollywood 20 is, that one area where Applebee's was. And I don't know what it is with that section because it's a thriving area
and there's
of Main
parking.
Street.
It's like the one place in Main Street you can actually park in the garage and go right where you want to be.
Yeah, and you know, the YMCA obviously was in that same complex where Hollywood 20 is, and they no longer have a branch there, so that reduced a lot of traffic. Some of the restaurants across the street, like Maid and Mediterraneo, they're doing very well. They've been there, and so I don't know what isn't working.
It's a curse. It's a developer's curse. Someone put on that like a long time ago.
I thought for sure that Wing House and World of Beer would do it, because I thought, all right, those are two businesses that would feed each other.
Yes.
But I think maybe that's just not what people want in downtown Sarasota.
It may not be the clientele.
Right.
I kind of agree with that. I think that it's just not our typical Sarasota crowd going to those places.
Yeah, no, I agree. So hopefully they'll figure it out, because they're great properties, they're gorgeous buildings. You hate to see the vacancies, because that kind of brings down the whole area a little bit. People wonder why. Well, Spider-Man is no doubt a superhero, but one in Sarasota is being called super annoying. Someone dressed in a Spidey costume has been accused multiple times of aggressively panhandling at the Sarasota Farmers Market. That means Spidey comes up to customers and gets pushy about getting his picture taken with them for money. So the Sarasota Farmers Market posted on Facebook to assure everyone that this Spidey is not affiliated with them. Facebook comments say that Spidey's also been seen and banned on Siesta Key. Okay, so we want to be a big city sometimes. This reminds me of a Times Square story,
I was say the same thing.
I mean, I get it's bad, but hey, maybe we're somewhere that people want to be.
Well, if you see someone, you know, like in Times Square, when you see the Mickeys that have like kind of the dollar store.
Just a little off. Just a little off.
The head of the costume's a little bit small, then you know that maybe that's not. But Spidey, that would be a tricky one. I'm sure all the kids would want to see him. I'm reading through those comments, some people are joking, and so hard to tell which ones are actually true, but very consistently, people are upset that he is very friendly in the beginning, apparently, and then wants money.
Demands money.
Right. Well, and that has happened to me at Times Square. I got fooled the first time when Elmo showed up. You know, my daughter was like, oh, Elmo's here. Right, exactly. Then Elmo goes, give me $10. I was like, oh my God. And I thought, okay, I'm a moron.
They have those designated areas now in Times Square, so maybe that's a solution.
I don't think we want that here.
I feel for the farmers market, though, because I know that they get some flack if they bring in a musician and someone doesn't like the music or something, so I think that's probably why they're saying he's not affiliated with us.
If they feel like they're going to get
we don't want that here.
definitely targeted by Spider-Man.
What a Monday.
So it is March Madness time, and basketball fans have been sitting and watching games for hours for the past week or so. Well, many are sitting on a bag of frozen peas to heal. Research shows vasectomy rates spike annually in March as men figure out they can miss work, recover, and watch basketball, all with a medical excuse. Doctors say this whole thing may have started as an urban legend, but it has since turned into fact.
That's crazy marketing by some doctor out there.
I think it's hysterical. So I do actually have guy friends that have done this.
Really?
Because it's always been that urban legend, and the guys are like, all right, if I have to do it, and that's a whole other discussion we will not be having
That's
here.
the whole show.
Exactly. And those two don't want to discuss it, trust me, because I already tested Joey and he was mortified. But think about it. You're off work. It's legal, right? Most people skip work anyway on those days of March Madness if they really care.
It's early enough in the year that if you have a high deductible, you want to do a surgery early so you can try to meet your deductible. I guess it makes sense.
So it's funny, when I read this article, the actual #1 most popular time for an unpopular procedure like this is December, to squeak it in when you've met your deductible. The second most popular time was March Madness.
That is I've never heard
See,
that.
you and I think it's funny. They're not amused at all.
Just if the guys take time off in December, there's going to be chores and holiday things to be done if he's going to be at home. So
They're like
that's
with
why
their
he's doing it
legs
now.
crossed over there.
And you know
Just
that,
remind me not to have the peas at their dinner parties, please.
and the bag of peas, I have heard, is really what they recommend.
Yes,
so,
I've heard that word.
Again, we won't go any deeper into this. Well, it is also prom season, and dealing with dates is often one of the more stressful parts of the entire experience. So one high school senior in Georgia decided she wanted to ask her dad to be her prom date. School officials said no. A school policy states that prom dates may be no younger than 9th grade and no older than 20. But nationally, there have been lots of stories of fathers taking their daughters to prom, and some of the nation's most famous celebrities and athletes, all over 20, have taken teen fans to the big dance. So should this rule be relaxed for parents to participate?
I just feel like it needs to be on a case-by-case basis, made by people with common sense in the school. I mean, call me crazy, but you know, I mean, obviously you don't want to have a 16-year-old at a prom with like a 50-year-old weird old man.
Right.
But
or a 25-year-old who buys alcohol.
Because you
yes,
have the concern that this
exactly.
opens up the door to
Probably.
anybody can bring anyone, and well, you let Stephanie go with her dad, and why can't this person?
But I don't.
But I
I mean,
think
maybe the rules
dad-
should say dad is okay.
Right, or celebrity. I mean, come on. If your daughter, you know, for some reason put out something on social media and had a plea to have, you know, somebody take them to prom.
Well, probably they could get behind that and make a fundraiser or a concert or something. It was a big enough
Yeah,
celebrity, but
that's
a dad.
true.
So the non-fun parent in me worries about the alcohol. I have a senior in high school. I am well aware of every game in the book that they're all playing to, you know, try to make themselves older. Anybody, I know why 20 was the age. Because 21, they can legally buy alcohol, which then opens up a little avenue for anybody trying to do something wrong to have an easier way to do it. So I don't know. I mean, the whole take your dad to prom is so sweet.
Right.
But I
It's
don't know.
sad that we have to have these huge blanket rules because over time they get abused and it opens the door to trouble and probably liability for the school.
Probably
that they don't wanna
liability.
deal
I
with.
think you're probably
So it is
right.
sad that you can't just say, okay, you know what, this is a sweet case and we're going to let it happen.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see here on the Suncoast, if anything. You know, we do often hear of someone taking someone unique or special, and it becomes a story for us. So let us know if you hear of anything, because we're all in favor of it if it's okay with the rules. You know,
it's common sense though. I feel like, I don't know, but you're right. Sometimes you have to make those blanket rules because one or two people violate it. That's unfortunate.
It makes me want to live in a simpler time.
I agree. Amen to that. So we are big fans of the creative ideas and products that come out of crowdfunding, like Kickstarter. Here's one I'm not so sure we're excited about. Here is how to never again suffer watery, messy ketchup from a bottle. These are slices of sauce, and they're here to save you. They want to provide a solution to one of life's most pressing problems. So this takes a fruit leather-like approach to ketchup. It is shelf stable. It will last a year in your pantry, and I am terrified of the texture. I mean, it looks like a fruit roll-up and it's ketchup.
Well, the only reason why I like this is because I make sandwiches for my kids' lunch every morning, and I'm squeezing the mustard out, and like probably 3 times out of the week it squirts on my outfit, and so that's really annoying. So I
you
would
want
love
a
to
slice
put a little.
of mustard?
I want a slice of mustard. Yes.
I mean, it does portion control everything out, I guess, but
Yeah, that looked a little large, though, right? That
That's a lot
was a
of
little
ketchup.
much.
is this one of the problems that we need to tackle?
I am not sure.
That iPhone cord is frayed and has been frayed for years.
But I will tell you, they made their Kickstarter goal. They're exceeding their goal, and if it's something you really are interested in, they're shipping in the next few weeks. So
try it.
this is happening. All right, Candace is
try
in.
it. I'll let you know.
I was grossed out. All right, we're going to check out our happy hour forecast. When we come back, Candace has a Suncoast development update.
Thanks, Stephanie. We're right in the middle of spring break week, and the weather couldn't be nicer if you're heading to the beach or down here on vacation or just want to enjoy what the Suncoast has to offer. But things have moistened up, as you can see in the satellite. That flow coming in from the Atlantic is bearing a lot of clouds and even some showers as we look at radar. Kind of a dreary day over on the East Coast, pretty damp and humid. You can see around Orlando to the Kennedy Space Center, and those clouds are moving toward us. And our future radar shows that this may be overblown, but you can see the showers generally tapering off before they get here. Clouds will be around with a strong easterly wind flow, but the clouds as well will thin out as we move through the evening hours and overnight. Here's your planner if you're heading out of the town. Look at those temperatures through the evening in the 70s, only in the 60s for overnight low temperatures. And coming up on ABC7 News at 5, 6, and 7, I'll have the complete forecast not only for this week, but also for Easter week and the beginning of Passover, which arrives at sunset on Friday.
New buildings keep popping up on the Suncoast, from luxury hotels to brand new neighborhoods. Well, luckily, our guest host, Candace Michaelia, is in the know about all of the new development here on the Suncoast. All right, Candace, I've been here for almost 20 years. I've never seen so much growth. Is this the biggest boom we've ever had?
I think so. I think it's the biggest growth boom that I've ever seen, and I've been here very similar to you, probably a little over 20 years, and it's just, it seems like it's everywhere.
Yes.
Cranes everywhere, hotels going up, apartment buildings going up, commercial, and I think, you know, whenever the economy is good, it's going to spur residential construction and then commercial construction, but I've never seen anything like this
Well,
here.
we probably have to thank the baby boomers a little bit, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
that they're
Yes.
heading this way.
Right.
So you mentioned hotels. So tell me about the
Yes.
Carlyle that is opened almost in my neighborhood.
Yeah, so the Carlyle is a new hotel that just opened quietly on March 1st in the Amish neighborhood here on Bay Vista near Beneva Road. And it's really getting a lot of attention. It's a beautiful boutique chic hotel that kind of pays homage to the Amish community with little touches here and there, but it's actually a modern hotel and it's open to everyone. It
So
has
that's my question. I wondered,
televisions.
is it catering toward Amish visitors to the area? But no, it's
I think it probably is catering toward that community a little bit. However, it has been booking up sports teams coming into town for events.
Wow.
And it's very modern. It has televisions, it has a pool, it has a workout area.
Which probably doesn't work for all of the Amish community because I know there's
Right.
varying levels
Yes.
of, you know, how back
interesting
in time they're
location,
living.
though,
Yes.
to be booking for sports teams. So that's cool. I guess you can get to 75 quickly if you need to travel.
It
and then-
is a great location.
Yeah.
I mean, it is probably super easy to get either downtown or get out to Lakewood Ranch to the
Right.
sports
Okay.
field. So yeah, very central.
Another hotel I know we've all been watching come up pretty quickly is the Embassy Suites that's downtown.
Yes, this hotel is amazing, and it was delayed a little bit, but now it's expected to open, I believe, at the end of this year, but really not like any other Embassy Suites that you've ever seen. It's very modern. It's going to be very tall, and it's going to have a amazing pool kind of right in the middle of the hotel, and some of the floors on the upper levels, which I think it's about a 19-story hotel, will have,
wow.
look at that, fabulous views of the water. I mean, have you ever seen an Embassy Suites look like
That's
that?
going to be incredible. I think we're all a little nervous, though, because Fruitville Road and US 41 at that
Yes.
intersection is already a little bit.
It's already a
Full.
nightmare.
Well, and it's practically sitting on 41.
Yes.
I mean, that's like 3 feet there.
Right. It's
Wow.
concerning for traffic, definitely. My office is right there on Fruitville Road, and right now it's so congested. And you've got a lot of apartment buildings opening up on Fruitville Road, but this hotel will be beautiful.
And then when the Bay project comes, this will be right in the middle of it.
Yes.
Let's talk Lakewood Ranch. They've previewed a new
Yes.
neighborhood.
Everyone has been waiting for years and years for Lakewood Ranch South to
Yes.
open. So now they're finally selling homes here, and they just released this amazing video of the new Main Street called Waterside Place that will be opening probably in the next 2 years. But it's going to be a really beautiful waterside Main Street community with cafes, with waterfront dining, and very walkable spaces where people who live in the neighborhoods there can actually walk to restaurants and have great shopping in the area. And it's going to be almost probably double the size of the current Main Street, which is in Lakewood
At one
Ranch.
point, I had heard that they were talking too about like having it connect canal-wise over to UTC. Is that
Yes.
still out there?
They're talking about that and having water taxis.
Yeah, that's so cool.
There's you've got to get over or under the interstate
Of
somehow.
course,
But yeah,
somehow.
they are planning to do an area that will get you from
That's amazing.
Waterside over
That would
to
make
UTC.
people happy that complain about traffic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
if you could
right
get
on
something-
University.
All right, so this is also down in South County. There's a new development development that is actually, it's not a new neighborhood, but it's a new service.
Yeah, so PGT, which is a very forward-thinking, progressive, one of the largest employers here on the Sun Coast, they make windows. They're opening up a new child care facility for not only their employees, but also for people who work in that Triple Diamond commerce area and the community. And it's a unique pilot program that they are partnering with the Sky YMCA for their Sunshine Education Academy curriculum. So it's going to be a fabulous opportunity for employees to send their kids to a child care center with great curriculum. It's being built by J.E. Charlotte Construction. And it actually, the ribbon cutting is this week.
Oh, great.
Well, and how often do we talk about if the child and younger professional opportunities were better, we'd have more employees wanting to come here. That would do it for me.
And that's what it's about. They're all about doing things for their employees at PGT.
That's exciting. That's nice. That's a service obviously they need. So great. Thank you, Candace. All right, so now when you drive by, you'll have a little better idea of what has changed on the skyline. Coming up next, we're going to learn a little bit more about some stage and screen, including a Suncoast singer who scored big on national TV.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny Be Good, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Is the next American Idol right here on the Sun Coast? We know it's happened before. Well, in case you missed it, 25-year-old Mylan Shamble from Bradenton got a golden ticket on national TV. She is now headed to Hollywood as part of the new ABC version of American Idol. Judges said it was the best version of Ben King's Stand By Me they have ever heard. And guess what? Here's the most exciting news of all. Mylan will be joining us right here on Suncoast View on Thursday to tell us all about what the early rounds have been like. And of course, not to bring up anything controversial, there's an NDA on her. We will not be asking what goes on. We only can talk about what you've all already seen.
Did Katy Perry kiss her?
No, but Katy Perry did something funny right before she sang last night. Katy Perry said, "Are you sure you want to sing sing this song and not something that would show your vocal range more? And I thought, way to freak the girl out. And apparently she was just like, no, I got this.
Oh, wow.
And nailed it. But I thought that was nasty mean.
I'm excited.
You can't just change.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I've been waiting to hear if we all were. Everyone here on the Suncoast, I think, has been waiting to hear, and she got the ticket, so that's exciting.
No, it's very exciting, and we're thrilled that she's going to sit down with us, and we're going to have to be very disciplined because we just can't ask anything about next. But she went to Savannah for those original auditions. She can tell us all about that, so we're looking forward to it. Very fun. Good reason to keep watching American Idol, everyone, on Sunday nights. Here's something else to watch on Tuesdays. The new hit show Roseanne returns this week, and while it does join this long list of TV revivals we've seen this season, this one's a little different. It tackles new and current topics. So it has been almost 21 years to the day since the original series finale. In that time, Roseanne Barr has gone through publicly a ton of life changes. Obviously, our country more bitterly divided than ever on many issues that the original series brought up, and all members of the Connor family are 2 decades older. So get ready for them to acknowledge the passage of time and, of course, the evolution of everyone involved. This airs Tuesday at 8 p.m. Are you interested?
I can't wait to watch this show.
I haven't been watching the old
Roseanne.
ones just to get
back up to it.
Yeah.
Good idea.
She's so funny. I just think she's hilarious. And I love in the previews when they show John Goodman taking the thing off and she's like, are you dead? Because everyone thought he was dead.
That's like the series did end with him dying.
I forgot about that.
But they're going to acknowledge that apparently and bring him back.
And like Rick, I kind of missed the end of the original series just because of where I was in life and not watching a lot of TV. But I'm very interested that they've caught up currently. You know, that we're acknowledging. We're not trying to pretend that nothing happened, that so much has happened.
She was controversial then, remember? I mean, things she said on the show, not even things she did off the show, but things that were done on the show were controversial. And it is a different time. And people, I don't know if people have as much patience for things that are not their opinion. So I'm curious to see what will happen.
Well, here's a little preview. Roseanne has quite an opinion and a political one as well on the show. So we will see what happens. All right, this is for Rick and his Broadway fans. Audiences are definitely not letting go of Anna and Elsa just yet. Frozen is now open on Broadway. The fairy tale celebration of sisterhood has been turned into a $30 million Broadway musical. It is virtually sold out until the end of the year. There are a dozen new songs, and critics say a much bigger emotional impact because of the human element. Remember, we're not watching cartoon characters this time. These are real people. Frozen, of course, is the highest grossing animated film of all time, and a screen sequel is in the works. And Candace admits she would pay almost anything to go.
I know, I think I like it more than my daughter.
You know, I mean, obviously I liked the movie, but I wasn't crazy about it because I had older kids, but I'm crazy about seeing it on Broadway.
Is it daunting, though, to try to produce something that everybody has seen on screen, and when it's animated, they can make anything happen, but now they have to do it on stage?
It's Disney. $30 million in Disney, they're going to do it right.
Well, and you know what? When I first went to see Lion King, I thought there's no way this is going to be any good after the movie, and it's amazing. So no doubt this is amazing as well. If you can get a ticket, write in and tell us about it, because I doubt we're going. All right, coming up next, we have some tough financial questions to ask an expert.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in the kitchen with Brick Smoked Meats. And we're not just talking great food, but also a great festival on the way. What can you tell us about Whiskey Obsession?
April 14th, Whiskey Obsession right there in our neighborhood in Bricks, right around Bricks on Lemon. We're going to be participating there. Lots of great whiskeys, lots of vendors participating. Come try a bunch of different whiskeys from all over the world, all over a local area. And Turner Moore organized it. We're going to be a part of it. We'll be right there.
All right, we're excited about this. It is April 11th through the 14th. Lots of different events on different days, and many of them free and open to the public. So to get the complete schedule, you'll want to go to whiskeyobsessionfestival.com. We'll join you in the kitchen for just a few minutes down the road. Well, interest rates are going up. The stock market bounces up and down. Today's investment atmosphere can be a bit of a frightening place. That's why the professionals at Cumberland Advisors are who to turn to when you need some answers. And we're happy to have Chairman and Chief Investment Officer David Kotok here with us today to answer some of our hard-hitting money questions. And I know you wave your magic wand to fix the market for now, but we'll see how long that lasts. We want to talk about recent headlines. Last week, the Fed hiked interest rates 1.75%. Let's talk about what that means to us in some different categories. And I think one that affects probably the most amount of people, credit cards. What's going to happen?
The Fed, after the financial crisis, took the interest rates down to 0. Mm-hmm. And we have been living with that for a lot of years.
Are we spoiled?
Now, oh yeah, we've been spoiled.
Yeah.
Now we're getting back to normal. So the Fed is slowly working its way back. Gradualism is the key. Yeah. And they will continue to do so to get back to what is normal. If you're old, like me, you remember normal. If you're young and you only have the last 5 years or 6 or 7 years, all you know is very low interest rates, and that's about to change.
Is this going to catch people by surprise? Have they accumulated more debt than you think they should and you have seen with people because rates were low?
Well, Stephanie, that's a great question because you don't know the behavior of younger people. Now, I brought you dessert.
Oh, we love that.
Bitcoin.
Okay, money.
So this is a chocolate-covered Bitcoin.
Okay.
Young people think this is money. Old people know it isn't. It's got chocolate inside. That's the only tangible value.
Good analogy.
So where we go from here in economic terms as we try to get back to normal is a process. It's elongated.
Yeah.
And it's going to be bumps along the way because we've got this very unusual period of history.
Okay, now what about mortgages? Because if interest rates go up, our mortgage rates go up. Is that going to catch some people by surprise?
Right? Well, it's already started,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you raise the price of borrowing to buy a house, at the margin, somebody can't qualify for the mortgage. So these are the trade-offs when you have a long period of low interest rates. And then you want to get back to what you think is new normal. And we don't know what new normal is. That's ahead of us. So that's one of the concerns investors have to deal with.
There must be a positive, though. Will savings accounts and things like that start to see better returns?
Sure, savings account rates will go up. For the first time, we'll have incentives for savers. We haven't had that for a lot of years.
All right, well, let's talk about the markets. They're up, they're down. I try not to pay too much attention anymore. How is everything that's happening out there affecting the non-professional investor?
I think the non-professional investor who is younger is bewildered by all the volatility. They've never seen anything like it. And those who are older remember crises and they're afraid. And so you have a real mix in the investor community. They don't know what to do.
Right.
You know, and by the way, they have good reason. We have never been in a situation like this before. We're going to have a trade war. We got a new tax bill. We're repatriating money. What does that mean? What's the budget going to do? There's so many questions.
Every day there's a new announcement that affects stocks. They go up, they go down.
I was going to say, and I don't necessarily know what those announcements mean for my investment. So what is your professional advice to those of us who are biting our nails daily?
Well, one, don't give up, and Bitcoin is a high-risk proposition.
Okay. Eat a lot of chocolate. Better to eat the chocolate.
Well, better to eat the chocolate, right. The second thing is this. There is room for everybody to have some investments. You need to spread them around. Diversification is the magic word. So you have to own a little bit of the stock market. You have to own some bonds. You have to own some real estate. You have to think it through. Don't put all the eggs in any basket. No basket is good forever.
We've been talking a lot about taxes and law changes that are coming up. We love our Suncoast community so much. What do some of these changes mean for government entities or things like the hospital, the airport, the schools?
Right. We've had tax law changes. They've changed the way the bonds which are used, municipal bonds, to finance airports and hospitals are treated. Certain bonds will be able to be owned by banks in a different way. So the rules have changed. When you change the rules, you change the system. It takes time to absorb them, and the benefits of them will appear in communities all over the United States, and particularly in the Suncoast as well, over time. It's a big change. It's technical, but it's a good change for the growth of the community.
And you may see growth slow a little bit, I would imagine, with interest rates going up and commercial construction harder to finance projects and things like that. Would you agree?
I think so, and I think we've had such a big boom. You talked about it earlier in the show, and now you introduce a higher cost of mortgages and finance. Do you slow down the boom? I think the answer is yes. Maybe. Do we have an overbuilding?
Right.
That's the big question.
It might be okay. All right, if I read between all the lines and everything you've said, I think we need to buckle up for 2018. There's a lot of different changes and a lot of different factors out there.
I think so. A little caution is always a good thing.
Okay, I like the advice. All right, you can hear more from David and some other very prominent, nationally recognized financial experts. This is all coming up at the second annual Financial Literacy Day. It is April 5th at the University of South Florida, Sarasota, Manatee. This is so important for all of us. And David, I want you to add in what respected person will be a keynote speaker.
Well, we're very excited. We have the new president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta.
Which is our district.
Which is our district, and Florida's included. And he will deliver a keynote speech right after lunch. So come early, have lunch, and then get the real message.
That's perfect. David says that's going to make national news right here in Sarasota the day he speaks here. So a lot of important financial things happening right here on the Suncoast. To register for the upcoming Financial Literacy Day, you'll want to go to Cumber.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we're going to meet Manatee County's Little Women.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. A long-awaited affordable housing project in Venice is finally moving forward. We'll have details on the replacement for the Garden Groves complex that's been in the works for 9 years. And a sneak peek at an annual sailboat race hosted by the Sarasota Sailing Squadron going on all this week. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Steve.
Jacqueline, you can see the sails waving in the wind there. It's breezy out, and it's going to be breezy tonight and easing off again tomorrow. And boy, has the atmosphere moistened up. There's a lot more moisture in the air, and you can see it blowing across the state from the Atlantic. And there are some scattered showers and some clouds that are passing over us, but I don't think any of these showers are going to quite make it to us. At best, you might feel a drop or two on your face, but it's certainly not going to spoil your evening plans. Coming up on ABC7 News at 5, 6, and 7, a complete look at this week's holiday weather and a peek at Easter.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Welcome back. The musical Little Women is based on the classic novel by Louisa May Alcott that many of us read growing up. It features the story of the 4 March sisters, and now their story comes to life on stage at the Manatee Players. So we love that producing artistic director Rick Kirby is here with us to tell us more. Now, it has been a long time since many of us read the book. Remind us about the girls and their situation.
Well, it takes place during the Civil War, so it kind of tells the story of a family that's kind of ripped apart because the father has to go away. So it leaves the women there to kind of fend for themselves, and it kind of bonds them together, and they're a very heartwarming story.
And it's a great book, and I remember it was made into a movie with Winona Ryder. There's a whole generation, like I think in the 90s, where everybody fell in love with the story again.
That's how I really came to love it, was the movie.
Yeah, me too. I owned the movie growing up. I remember that very well. So what makes you now want to choose a story that actually kind of dates back to the 1860s? How does it stand the test of time on stage?
Well, it absolutely does. I mean, it really just talks to that dynamic of a family who go through hardship together, and that it just kind of makes them bond and find their way, and it's just a lovely, lovely story. And I read it when I was in high school, hated it, and I've come to re-love it now.
Well, here's why I'm glad you're doing it, because I immediately quizzed my high schoolers, and I said, "Oh, Little Women's on stage around. Did you read that in your classes?" They're like, "Yeah, no." Like, kids aren't reading the things that we all read, so I guess if they can't read it in the books, let's give it to them on stage.
And it's a newer musical, right? It isn't as old as we might expect.
The story's very old, but this version of the play it's new. Sutton Foster, of course, she was the star on Broadway, and it became kind of loved every dream role of every girl who grew up in that area.
How does the music kind of help bring the story to life?
Well, we like to say that when this play gets too big to tell the story in dialogue, that's when the music comes in. And this is beautiful music. Just the score is just so lush, and it's just song after song after song that kind of just lets you sink into it.
Oh, well, we can't wait to hear a preview. So 2 of the sisters are here with us. Set up the song we're going to hear.
Well, this is a little hard because I don't want to give away any plot points, but let's just say that this song really demonstrates the love between 2 sisters.
Okay, from Manatee Players, here's a preview of Little Women. Take it away.
My sweet Beth, give me a task to do.
Let's pretend we're riding on a kite. Let's imagine we're flying through the air. We'll ascend until we're out of sight. Light as paper, we'll soar. Let's be wild up high above the sand. Feel the wind, the world at our command. Let's enjoy the view and Neverland, floating afar from the shore. Some things are meant to be, the clouds moving fast and free, the sun on a silver sea, a sky that's bright and blue. And some things will never end, the thrill of our magic ride, love that I feel inside for you. Some things are meant to be, the tide turning endlessly, the way it takes hold of me, no matter what I do. And some things will never die, the promise of who you are, the memories when I am far from you. All my life I've lived for loving you. Let me go now.
The story of the March Sisters, Little Women, sisterhood, family, stories that stand the test of time. This is on stage at Manatee Performing Arts Center, performed by the Manatee Players. What a wonderful family outing, perfect for spring break and the Easter and Passover holiday weekends. It's there through April 8th. Go to their website for tickets and information. We'll be right back.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Thanks to all of you who participated in ABC7's Caribbean Cruise Giveaway Contest. Join us as we celebrate our grand prize winner, Josh Fakowski of Northport. Married for 13 years in June, Joy and her husband, Don, are excited to celebrate their anniversary on a spectacular 7-night luxury Caribbean cruise for two. Congratulations, Joy and Don. Bon voyage. ABC7, we're here for you.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
We love hearing from our viewers. We got a special email from Jan in Venice. She said, thanks for the great ideas for Easter eggs. I'm going to try the Disney princess ones with my grandkids. Thanks, Jan. If you missed what Jan's talking about, last week we had Lisa O'Driscoll, funmoneymom.com, came on and taught us some Easter egg crafts perfect for this coming week with Easter and even with Passover. And these are the ones she's talking about. They're Disney princess themed. Great ideas, very fun, very easy to do at home, no mess, no fuss. If you missed that segment, you can find all of our previous segments on suncoastview.com. And you'll be able to find us in the kitchen. We're heading in with Rick's smoked meats, and it looks like they brought us some cocktails.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. The state is sharing plans tomorrow night for a new roundabout at one of the busiest intersections in the area.
We'll tell you how soon the roundabout at 41 and Gulfstream Avenue could be finished. That's tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we're looking at a cold front which will wash out and bring us some drier air. We'll talk about the impact on our forecast bright and early.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. This is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. A dozen seniors died from lack of air conditioning at a Florida nursing home facility months ago. How Governor Rick Scott is ensuring that it never happens again. And taking a quick look at your first alert traffic right now, traffic is slow moving around St. Armand Circle, as well as heading over the Ringling Bridge from Lido Key into Sarasota. Let's get a check on our weather forecast this evening with Steve.
Jacqueline, that crisp air that was over us the last part of last week is all gone with a moist flow coming in across Florida right now. There's some showers over there and some sprinkles indicated by radar, but I don't think they're going to affect our evening. If anything, these clouds are going to dissipate as they move over the state tonight. And it should be pretty nice all evening long. If you're heading out of the town, don't worry about these showers. They are not going to reach us. Coming up on ABC7 News at 5, we'll have a look at this whole week, including the Easter holiday weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit nationalguard.com to learn more.
Part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Sun Coast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Sun Coast restaurant guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Sun Coast app for Apple and Android.
Welcome back. We're here with Steven from Brick's Smoked Meats. But before we get to the food, we've got to talk about these drinks. What do we have going on here?
We're about to roll out some brand new spring cocktails at Brick's, and we wanted to introduce a couple of them to you today. Light, refreshing, and to give you a little bit more of those vitamins and nutrients that you need when you're having a night out on the town.
This looks like it just came out of the juicer.
So we're calling this one, this is our green tea tox. So this is cold pressed juice that we make right in house.
Wow.
It's going to be kale, cucumber, apple, celery, a little bit of lemon, and some ginger.
How
We're going to
healthy.
press that straight there. It's Tito's vodka and a little bit of agave syrup. You're going to shake it with ice, garnish it with a cucumber. It's a wonderful, wonderful springtime drink.
And then tell us about the other one. It's got a gorgeous color too.
We called this one the Florida Pina. We're taking a little bit off of our margarita. It's going to be some Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. It's also Sauza Blue Silver Tequila, pineapple juice, a little bit of fresh lime, and again, some simple syrup. We're going to salt the rim, and then we're garnishing it with a crystallized pineapple wedge.
Oh, I love your creativity.
Cool.
All right, well, we shouldn't just drink, we should also eat. So tell us what we're making today.
Today, we're going to make probably one of the most popular sides that have come around at Brick's Smoked Meats, and that is our kale apple side salad. And it's super easy to do for people at home. We wanted to show you that not only at Brick's Smoked Meats can we do amazing meats, but we also can do an item that's a little bit healthier for you. So we're going to start with getting the pickling liquid for the apples ready, because that's integral to the dressing itself and a big part of
Tell us about the ingredients.
So in this pot, you're going to take a pot of 4.5 ounces of sugar, 4.5 ounces of water, 1 cinnamon stick, a teaspoon of whole mustard seeds. You're going to take a teaspoon of ground mustard, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 teaspoon of white pepper. You're going to combine it all in a pot. You're going to bring it to a boil, and then you have to shut that pot off. You don't want to put the apples in. We're going to slice those in a second. You don't want to put the apples in while it's hot. You don't want to cook the apples.
Now
you
show
wanna
us the
pickle
finished
apples.
result then.
This is the finished product. So you're going to take the apples out of the liquid, and then you're going to blend them in your blender at home with just enough of the brining liquid that you use to get it to where it moves
flavor comes
into the in the blender
All right,
itself.
well, speaking of apples, Rick swears he is comfortable with a mandolin
danger
and a large
zone.
knife, and I'm not going to watch.
I know, I'm terrible.
Instruct him what happens next.
If you don't have a mandolin at home, you're going to cut the apple in half, but if you do have a mandolin, you're going to take them and you're going to slice them just like that, and then once you have the liquid cooled, you're going to go ahead and throw those apples into the liquid, and you're going to let them sit for about 2 hours. Now, if you don't have a mandolin at home, or you're afraid to use a mandolin at home, go ahead and get a nice sharp knife, and you can do that.
Rick, you're very talented.
Make me nervous, because I do know if people have not used a mandolin before, it can be, it's
Right.
very easy
They're
to
definitely
Rick is
tricky.
very adept in the kitchen. Okay, let's assemble the rest of the ingredients for
All
the
right,
salad.
perfect. So what we're going to do, once you have the apples and they're blended, the dressing couldn't be any simpler. So you're going to take equal parts of the apples that are blended down.
I'm dumping this in here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And sour cream. And that is it. All right, for the dressing, that's
really?
all.
Okay, so all the other goodies go in the salad.
Correct.
All right, well, while Candace goes ahead and whisks that, Stephen, why don't you go ahead and put the other parts into the kale, so that way we can get this all assembled.
So you're going to put your mandarin oranges in. You're going to reserve a couple to the side so you can top it off. When you're finishing the salad, you're going to take your pickled apples and also put some of those in there. Reserve, again, some to the side. We have pecans that we chop and then smoke in-house, obviously in our smoker at the restaurant, so a little salty, a little smoky, and we're going to toss some of these in here.
Having that smoky flavor in all your dishes is amazing.
And I love that your sides are not an afterthought to the meat. Like the sides at Brick's are really, really delicious.
You can make a meal out of them, because I have.
They are great.
Okay, and then the dressing gets tossed in with
Brilliant.
the kale.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to put this dressing in there.
All right, well, while Candace and Stephen go ahead and toss together the apple kale salad, we do want to mention that Brick's Smoked Meats has availability to order for your Passover celebrations, your Easter celebrations. Their smoker, their cuts of meat, top of the line, could not be better. So don't hesitate to let them do the work for the upcoming holiday weekend and get your meats from them. Don't forget the fabulous cocktails and obviously the side dishes.
Happy to do it.
All right. We may not get to the whole side dish. We're just eating the pieces and parts, but they do smell amazing. Again, this is the apple kale salad at Brick's Smoked Meats, and don't forget about the Whiskey Obsession Festival coming up April 11th through the 14th. Rick and Candace, fun way to start the week. Thanks for being here. Stephen, great to have you with us as well. Everybody, cheers with a healthy cocktail. Take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast view.
Cheers.